Hello, good afternoon. 13th Friday. In this Black Friday, I would like to introduce, just make a demonstration how I scrape a website and then using RegEx expression to filter off the unnecessary data and give the useful data. And that is, this website is from China. It's about quality site about recall of some 40 products. And my work is necessary to read those news and prepare a report basically in Excel. So I would like to have the date because I don't want to get all the news that happened, for example, last month. I only want the latest news, so I need the data is the date and also the title, because I don't need every product. I may only need, for example, children's products or electrical products. Therefore, two information that I need is the date and the product. And then the third information I need that I have to click in and then extract the news, just like a Google search. I will not report everything. I only report the first paragraph, for example. So there's several things to do, and this demonstration is not about web scraping, because I presume that many people know. So the details is in my class, web scraping, web scraper. There's a lot of things written already. So for me, I just call in the function that I can do it. I get the thing done now. Now that a URL for that quality site, the most important thing is to find out the attribute and the value. And for this one, I can get all the links. How to do it? I think for those who've learned web scraping, they know. Not too difficult. You have to right click and inspect, then you can find, okay, so then I find all the links. One common point is about that it appears to have content and then underscore, and that is the possibly good way to filter off those unnecessary links, because there's many other links that may be related to some parent site or some sites that is relevant, but I only want those who appear to this word content underscore. So I run this one. What happened? Yeah. So I got all the links. Okay. And I found that no other unnecessary links, so that's great. So the first level is okay. Now the next steps is not about the length, but about the date and titles. And I inspect. And I found that what did I find actually? It's XPath. Oh yeah, I use XPath because I cannot find a class. No relevant class, no relevant ID. So all I can do is the last resort is XPath. And XPath is LI. And so I try this. Unfortunately, there are many other things that garbage to me. It's about links, about other things. So the relevant data only start on here, from here. Okay. Of course, I can count. You know, this is a list. Okay, I can count and then use slicing of the list. It's one way, but suppose that they have to change the design of this website, then the slicing may fail because some of those items may be removed or add in new items. So it's not a reliable way. So I think the best way is use RegEx. Regular expression can see the pattern very reliable. You have start with the date, the time, and then a title, right? So the regular expression is a good choice. And I like to be a one-liner, so I put everything into line. That is the pattern for the date. I don't know whether it needs .all or not, I'm not sure, but I add in for safety, and it will compile and search for eggs for all the eggs in the data titles. And that will filter off to be a day, right? Sorry, not I got it mixed up because it's very complicated. No, it's not a filtering off to the date, but it's filtering off the unnecessary items. As I mentioned, there are so many items that not started with the date. You may add in this one also. This means started the date. And you want only those items that are the date titles items that were started with the date. Okay. And try whether this filtering correct. Yeah, correct. All the data now are valid data. Start with the date and the titles. The second item with the date and the titles. The date and the titles. So the grade. So the third. So the next action is to filter off this one and this one into two variables, because in many a lot of sometime earlier I introduced a way called SIP. Let's say we have many lists, and then we can zip them together into a format like Excel. So I cannot have two different information into a single list. So I have to separate into two lists called dates and title. And that again use what? Regular expression. Okay. And regular expressions meant, now to recap, I used this XPath and LI. I got many items called date titles, and many of them are garbage, so I removed them using this filter, using regular expressions. Then I have separated into two valid information, one a date, the other titles, and using this one, use bracket. In the brackets in regular expression I use group 1, then I can get the days. And the title as well, with grouping after the new line, and then I got it, this must be the titles. Okay. So you see, the dates now well separated, and the title is well separated. Then I can use what? A zip function, and I can zip together into date, title, date, title, date, title in the right order. And also, before that, I would use the date filter to filter off the days that are too old. For example, last month, I will remove them. It's very simple. Okay. Now, come to the second level. The first level, okay. Now come to the second level. Is one of the actual news. This means I got a list of all the relevant sites. Then I click in. Then I get the detail page and see whether I can inspect to get the right parameters for the web scraping. Okay, class content. Maybe a class content, detailed content. That could be one of the possibility. Both can be okay. But before that, I use detailed content. Okay, let's try again. Yeah, see whether content work. If not, I change back to detailed content. Yes, this works. So, it's like a list. But for detailed web scraping, I don't need a list. I just need a tag, right? So I get the first element of that tag. Oh, in fact, it's only one element, so I can just push 0 there. The content will be just the first element, 0. But even for the this one, I cannot report so many data, so many details. What I want, my boss will only interested in the first paragraph, so I would come to here. Then again, use regular expression. All the data before the new line. And group 1, I bracket it, okay. And if it work, everything fine. Yeah, then I get the first paragraph as the extract of the information. So I'm actually doing something like a Google search. I will get the date, get the link, get the extract, the summary, and that's it, okay. So to recap that, basically I have the main website for all the links here, and then I use inspect to find out the right parameters for my web scraping. Basically I use Selenium, not beautiful soup. I use Selenium, and then I scrape it, and then I filter off the unnecessary things, and I only the valid date, valid links, and then for each one I will use the program Python to open it, and then scrape it. Again, the right information is the class, okay, for to find out the right class content, the parameters, and then I scrape the whole thing. And sometimes it's too much, then I use regular expression to filter off the necessary information. Okay, thank you for listening to my sharing this experience of web scraping. And there's still a lot of things to do, of course, getting all the information. You have to just organize them into a table form, and then use Python to export to an Excel file or a Word file, or as in my demonstration yesterday that I actually can also export to a data table and KVMD than for porting to the mobile phone. Okay, thank you.